So, Pennies Foundation. We are a charity, and we've been live for just under 7 years, and we have a simple aim as to what we want to do, and that is to help UK business to raise as much money as possible for their chosen charity in the UK and now in the Republic of Ireland as well. And the way that this works is through technology. So wherever a customer uses their credit or debit card, be it online, be it in app, or it be in a store, to give them the opportunity to round up their purchase to the nearest pound, or indeed to top up by a certain amount. Always pennies and never pounds. And the reason for that is that we wanted to replicate in this ever increasingly cashless society the most loved way of giving in the UK, which is dropping a few coins into a collection box. And what Pennies does is it mimics that customer journey exactly, for very, very good reasons, as I will go through. Very simple, as I said, we enable the technology, and with the help of our technology partners, then the merchant chooses the charity, and customers donate, and we make sure the money gets to where it needs to get to in a very transparent way. And it's a way that fits seamlessly into our lives. Customers have told us, and we do independent research every year through marketeers. They want it to be low pressure. They want to be ad hoc. They want to donate when they want to, and not to when they want to as well. So it's always an opt-in and never an opt-out. Always a click of a button. In fact, online, they can pass on without interrupting the journey. No customer or card data is collected. I know that's very different from what you've been talking about today and how that works for you. But that's important because the customer wants us to make sure that they're not followed up. They're not chased for more money from a charity, from ourselves, or from anybody else. And so that's crucial. Again, just like dropping those few coins into the collection box. And as I said, always pennies and not pounds. And together, we're giving small change a big purpose. So just a few of the 200 charities that we've helped raise money for so far. So what's our impact? This is over 44 million donations so far. It's actually over 45 million donations now because it's moving so quickly. 331,000 donations last week. Now over £10,500,000 raised from about 55 merchants. That will be 70 by the end of the year and doubling perhaps in 2018. Because over the past 2 years, we've actually done half of what you're seeing there on the screen. Because it's been a hockey stick. We've needed to prove it. We need to prove it in all the sectors. We needed to line up the technology. And we got to that tipping point and beyond, and that's why we'll see the growth that we're expecting to see. Someone donates every 3 seconds during 2017. 2018, that will fall to every 2 seconds. It's going to take us a while to get it down to every 1 second, just because of the multipliers. Every month, 5 million customers get the opportunity to donate via Pennies. And that's the population of Norway. We researched that one really carefully. Benefits to your business. Boost engagement with your customers. Customers love this, and it sounds strange because they're donating their money, but they feel good about businesses that give them the opportunity to donate in this way. So you can talk about how that money's raised. It's great, isn't it fantastic? 45 million donations, £10.5 million raised, over £3 million this year, £5 to £6 million next year. But those are just numbers. It's the impact of this. This is what gets me excited. So being able to share those impact stories that we can help the charities to provide with your customers, that gives you another opportunity to show, one, that you care, you're an ethical company, and secondly, it gives you another opportunity to discuss something with a customer that's not about selling them something. Increases staff recruitment. We've been told, this was news to me, we've been told this by our organisations, that increasingly people that they want to recruit want to know they're working for an ethical company. Why is that? Because I think that's increasingly a part of British society. And secondly, if that company is seen to be ethical, how well are they going to be treated? It's like a proxy for the fact they're going to be treated well as individuals too. Reflects the value of your business, because you nominate the charities that are important to you. We help with that, but we're anonymous when it comes to charity. And we have to be, because we want it to be something that is your choice, and we don't want to prefer one charity over another. So we will work with you to make sure that that charity resonates really well. So yesterday, I was with an organisation called MRH. They have 476 petrol stations across the UK, and by the end of November, you'll be able to donate there. It's 25 pence is the fixed donation there. And what we're doing with them and what they've chosen to do is to support air ambulances across the UK, but to do that on a regional basis. So when you walk into your local store, actually, the charity that that money is going to, which is very clearly shown, is actually to the local air ambulance. That's such a strong customer proposition, donation proposition. The Entertainer Toy Shop, with 180 stores across the UK, again regionally for the charities. When you're buying your toys in that store, actually you're given the opportunity to donate to the local children's hospital. So it'll be Great Ormond Street in London, it will be Alderhay in Liverpool, and Jimmy's in Leeds, and so on and so on and so on. Very, very strong donation proposition. And it offers flexibility because Pennies works across channels. So if you have more than one channel, but I know this is particularly online, then it will also work in store, and it will work via app as well. People love Pennies. Store colleagues give us the feedback. They don't have to ask the customers to donate because it's all built into the logic on the terminal or it's online in the customer journey. But they get the halo effect of knowing that just by having this in their systems and by talking to their customers are being given the opportunity to donate. Large amounts are being raised for charity, but no ask is required. So no embarrassment factor for the member of staff or for the customer. Customer feedback. We get told off by the Charities Commission every year, and we get told off because we're not seeing enough complaints. We see a few, a handful. And the reason for this is because it is an opt-in every time. It is the customer's choice, and it's very, very clear where the money is going to. That's a legal requirement, but the more that we can do when we're working with merchants to actually show the story, tell the story about where the money is going, then the more likely is that customer is going to donate and feel good about donating. So I talked about great 45 million donations, £10.5 million, but that's not the real story. The real story is bringing it down into small nuggets of information. So I'm not going to go through all of these because you can see them for yourselves. But a lunchtime of donations at ZZ's restaurants across the UK, 8,000 pennies, actually and rising, could enable a man to take part in a 2-year study into prostate cancer research with Cancer Research UK. I talked about MRH just now. Actually, what this does is it pays for 365 missions a year, one mission every day, and it costs a lot to keep those air ambulances, those helicopters in the air, as you can imagine. And that's what it means for me. It's great that we're raising all this money, or helping to raise all this money, but it's the impact, and those impact stories that you can share with your customers, or merchants can share with customers. I've talked about the growth. I don't need to go through that. Probably worth talking about some of the 55 merchants we're currently live with. As you can see, lots and lots of well-known names here are doing this. I suspect that you will have come across Pennies yourselves in recent weeks, years and months, or even months and years. The customer journey is very simple. Online, they will be given the opportunity to actually see where that money is going, and it's a simple yes or no. And in fact, through the Screwfix Foundation, or Screwfix, who are seeing something like 40,000 donations a week, they decided that their customer journey would actually say that they would have a box which said, no thanks on the left, pre-ticked, and then would you like to donate X pence on the right-hand side, and that moved them from something like 10,000, 15,000 donations per week to 40,000. Sounds counterintuitive, but what it does is it underlines the fact that it's the customer's choice every time. And importantly, you can move on in that journey and you don't have to tick anything. So the impact upon abandonment rates is zero. We measure it along with our merchants, and there is no slowdown in that customer journey, no friction. So some case studies which I'm not going to go through in detail. But online and in apps, we're live with Domino's Pizza, and that's around up to the nearest pound. And that's raising, we're seeing there something like 60,000 donations each week, rising every week. Huge amount of money raised, hurtling towards £3 million. The entertainer I spoke about, so you know the proposition, it's the local children's hospital, £1.7 million raised. Online through Screwfix, I've mentioned them already. So buy spares. A smaller online merchant, and they actually do provide spares for your washing machine, etc. Some of you will come across them. I'm going to look at the screen now before I move on. Multi-channel through Adnams, both in-store and online, and Adnams, that's their kitchen supplies and goods shops. Boots Opticians, raising money for the Literacy Trust. It's something that's very dear to their heart. The resonation between you're getting your eyesight fixed and reading, but working with children and helping children to enjoy literature and to become literate themselves. Let's see if I can just touch this gently. So, some takeaways. Customer engagement, making customers feel good about your brand. Corporate social responsibility in a box, easy to implement, and at very little or no cost. Staff recruitment and retention, making a contribution via you being a socially responsible employer. Communicating your values, showing that you're ethical, showing that you believe about society, you believe in society and you believe in people. And importantly, certainly in terms of how we operate, anonymous giving, data-free donations that suit your business in whatever channel you might use. And that is me. I'm sorry for my heavy-handedness, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you very much.